All right, here we go, boys. Chris Lambert has graciously agreed to be our host for this championship press conference. So, as of now, I am not Fantasy Jacks. I am not anything more than the Guardians of Your Mom's House's manager, and I'm in the press conference. So, Chris, thank you again, and take it away, my guy.
I know I said no more media, but you got to answer the call whenever it's there for you. So I'm here, and I got the two boys in the fantasy championship, Tyler, Jackson. How we doing?
Doing all right.
Pretty good,
Merry
Chris.
Christmas.
Pretty good.
I'm just gonna get right into it, boys. I'm gonna answer the question. All right, ask the question, and then Jackson can get into it, and then we'll go to Tyler. So, what's your mindset when you construct a fantasy lineup? Are you more of a numbers guy, or do you just go with your gut, or a mixture of the two?
Well, I mean, that's a great question because there is two different strategies there. I've always been a numbers guy. I know projections don't mean anything, but if I'm being honest, I've always had projections in mind when I make decisions. When I go with my gut, it's riskier, and I like to eliminate bias. I like to eliminate as many outside factors as I can, and I feel like when I go with my projections and I, kind of average it throughout the whole internet, through every program, it kind of works out. This year it's been pretty tough because of my You Fucked Up awards, but I would say it's gotten me to three straight championships. I'm a numbers guy. I can't hide from that.
Like that answer? Tyler, what do you think? More of a numbers guy or gut feeling?
I do a little bit of both. I know Jackson likes to go in and break down numbers of players, but I don't do that much math for myself. Yeah, I go a little bit based off numbers. Off last year projections. Let's talk about ESPN's ADP. Let's see. I got some guys. Give me some looks on who's going to do what this year. What are we thinking? And then it's just gut feeling after that. It's who I like. Because I'm not going to go off what somebody else wants to draft. I'm not going to draft that for myself. So
that's exactly how I am. I couldn't agree more with that. Look at the numbers, but ultimately on the final decision.
Mm-hmm.
All right, getting into question number 2. Looking back on the season, Jackson, what was your favorite win or most heartbreaking loss?
I'm really excited to answer this question because, Chris, it was the win over you in week 3. Tony Pollard outscored Tyreek Hill on Monday Night Football. I mean, you could argue.
I'll never forget it. Tony Pollard had 17 points.
You literally said there's no way Tony Pollard outscores Tyreek Hill, and it happened in a late touchdown. It was amazing. I watched every minute of that game. I could also, say the Tony game a couple weeks ago, but I feel like that Chris game against you, Chris, that was the best. The heartbreaking loss, I think the one that was the most heartbreaking was against Tony in I forget what week it was. It was like week 7 or week 8 when all my players got hurt, and he scored 88 points and I lost it because if I win that game and then maybe like the Dom game later on, easy winnable, I get the bye week. I get the number 1 seed. I get the division title, and I let those slip. So those came down to Monday Night Football. Those came down to injuries, and those were the most heartbreaking. Tyler's was too. I came short a fucking lot. I was so close so many times. I kept fucking losing. The only one I won was Chris and Tony, it feels like.
I know exactly where I was when you beat me. I was on I-55 South. It was about 9:30, and I just seen Tony Pollard walk in the end zone on my phone. I thought about hitting the median, but, we live to fight another day.
I know I'm just like the interviewee, but what did that do to your season? I want to genuinely, what do you think that did?
I'm not going to say it derailed it because I had a great draft. I just mismanaged the fuck out of my team. If I kept Barkley and just waited for the Puka injury to come back, I feel like I'm in the playoffs because I was close without either one of those guys. And if I had those guys, I feel like I'm at least 6th seed. You know what I mean? We just mismanaged our team. We got cute, and we can't do that next year.
I agree. I agree.
Tyler, do you have a favorite win or heartbreaking loss you'd like to reflect on?
Yeah, I do. I just want to remind the league that I am here strictly so I don't get fined. Okay.
The Marshawn
So
Lynch
I'm going
clashes
to
at
answer these
people.
questions accordingly, but just know I am here so I won't get fined. I would say my favorite win probably against Colin on that Monday night when Travis Kelce beat him because he was the one talking some lip in the videos about me drafting him. Most heartbreaking, probably to Mez, like week 5 or something, right before I started hitting my stride. I lost to Mez like 128 to 138, and that was probably my most heartbreaking. But if I lose this next one, that's gonna take reign over that, undoubtedly. So here we are.
Ty, do you remember us playing at coming
Yeah.
out Monday night?
You got a you got a you fucked up award, yeah?
Because I started Burrow over Daniels, but I want to know what that did to your season. Like, what do you don't think about that at all? Because I think about that. That pisses
No,
me off.
because I was still 2-4 even after that game. So I mean, I don't know. That one don't. I haven't thought about it much, to be honest. I had a hunch.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
I'll
about
save
it.
it for later.
I think about it a lot. You don't even think about it? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I know I'm not the one being interviewed, but I would just like to say that my most heartbreaking loss was losing to Brock because, while this franchise has been in the dumps past couple seasons, we always go into the season knowing that Brock is just not a good opponent. And to lose to him
Michigan, Ohio State.
it was very eye-opening because, we have an overall great record versus Brock, and to just drop one to him, it kind of made me realize my season was over. But yeah, not too much more on that. But yeah, I'll get right into question 3. Do you guys think that trash talk has any effect on your opponent, or do you think they can block out the noise? And then a
I don't.
follow-up to that, what's the funniest thing you've heard someone say this season?
I don't think trash talk. The only thing trash talking does is make your opponent angry because they literally can't do anything but sit there and watch. So, other than that, I don't think that it don't bother me none. I mean, I don't. Well, besides getting angry at the fact that I can't do nothing when my team's losing on a Sunday and I get a taunt, it's like, well, fuck. I just gotta fucking pray my team does something. Hopefully, I put the right guys in, but I don't think it does too much. Then the funniest thing I heard someone say, oh, I don't know. There were so many funny things said this year in the group chat. I'm sure everyone's thinking of their own one-liner they said or remember from the year, but I was going through some of them saved chats, and I saw Jackson said something to Chris this year. He said, if you finish 7-7, I'll give you a blowjob. So here we are, and Chris saying Jackson ain't giving it to him.
Yeah, one game short of a great time.
Yeah, one game short. That took the cake when I was going through the saved.
I completely forgot I said that. That's hilarious.
I'm going to have to agree with that.
Me personally, trash talk, it don't bother me. I welcome it. When it's strictly fantasy related, trash talk don't bother me because you can't say nothing bad about my franchise, my team, ever. You can't say anything like that. So people got to go outside of fantasy to get under my skin. They know it. I get it. Because whenever
DeMar Hamlin.
Okay, that does suck. That is the only thing you can say. But besides that, and I think that's very fair to say, I like trash talking if it's, like I said, in fantasy. The funniest thing, like Ty said, there's a lot of funny stuff. I think, Chris, what you were saying to Brock about how you could go, however many losses, or you can lose however many times, but you'll always beat Brock in a season. That's funny because it's like we all know those divisional matchups in the real NFL where it's just for some reason a team has like the Patriots have the Bills number we saw again this week. Just some guys have those numbers, and you get under his skin a lot, and it's really funny for Christopher's Brock week. It's my favorite week of the season, so probably that.
I like the little Pat diss there. That didn't go unnoticed. But
No.
More of a compliment.
Yeah, you guys play the Bills well.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Bills got the Pats number. As of recent, that's
no. I'm saying
that's
the
way
Pats
it
got the
is.
Bills number. The Pats beat them like last year, 2 years ago for like a meaningless game. Like they got their number.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. We just play them right. But yeah, playing Brock, it's always a good week. Love the shit talk, and somehow I always come out on top usually. I don't know. But yeah, let me get into question number 4. Would you guys say luck versus skill? Which one do you think is more important in fantasy football?
I think it's a mixture of both because you
Mixture of
gotta
both.
you can't get lucky on who you start and sit, but you get lucky on what they do in the field. So I think it goes both ways. At the same time, I think usually better to be lucky than to be good.
I mean, I'll kind of
Okay.
agree with that, but at the same time, I think it is skill because you have to be skillful and knowledgeable, study enough to, on draft day, know who's going to have a good year, have those start-sit decisions based off matchup, based off of scheme, based off of, hot streaks, whatever. That's skill. It's not just luck. But what I think is luck is the injuries. You can't control that. Me, I've dealt with a lot of injuries this year. That's unlucky. Tyler hasn't faced any injuries. I looked at his IR spots. He's used 0 this year. He has never put someone on his IR this whole season. So that's
Tyler's had his fair share of injuries in the past. So I think
that's the past. That's not this
team.
season, though. That's not this season.
I think it's about time he brings a healthy team to the championship.
Well, I think it's not about
Back-to-back.
time because it fucking sucks. I got fucking nobody. I'm playing fucking backups. But I think the injuries is what the luck part is. Whenever people want to say
There's only 8 starters. You act like all 15 of them are going or something.
I think it's crazy he has no IR spots used this year, though. I just thought that was crazy. And it's not going to change this week, fair to him. I don't want any players to get injured, but it's just, I think that's the luck part, personally.
I think skill can only take you so far, and then you need luck. I mean, you can be the best drafter in the world. You can analyze better than anybody. You can look at the matchups and say, this guy's going to do great, but at a certain point, it's out of your hands, and that's when you need luck to take over. That's my opinion on it. I would say luck is more important than skill. Skill only takes you so far, in my opinion.
Well, here's my also thing about that. If you are analyzing everything and you are thinking of things the correct way, skillfully, wouldn't that mean that there's no luck needed because you're going to be right in the long run? Like, you drafted Saquon this year. He was a first rounder. You knew he was going to be great.
I knew he was going to be great.
So that's not luck. That's you knew, right?
No, but I also didn't know that he was going to be the number 1 overall running back. I figured he'd be top 5.
So that's not luck though. And that's my only argument. I think I like that debate though because there is a lot of things that you can't control, but I think fantasy football, it is a lot about skill. Me personally.
I'd say it's 70-30. 70 skill, 30 luck. And that luck can
I
get
agree
ring.
with
It
that.
really can.
I agree.
All right, getting into question 5. What would you say your team's turning point was that helped you make it to the fantasy football championship this year? Jackson, I'm going to go with you.
Thank you, Chris. My turning point. I don't want to break a broken record here, if that's even a saying. I don't even know. May have just made it, but it's when I traded for CD. I mean, look, CD Lamb. He's a guardian for life, kind of like Devontae Adams. And I knew bringing him in, even when he had Dak, this is the guy for me. And even when he was injured, I had a big decision to make, and it was, do I trade him for probably less just because of the quarterback concern, or do I roll with my guy? I mean, loyalty in fantasy football pretty much is not existent. But for me, it meant a lot because that's my guy, right? He won me a chip last year. He's a guardian for life. And so I trusted him. And he showed out for me. He's done very well, and I hope and I'm praying that he does it again. But I think me getting CD and me sticking with CD was my turning point.
Do you think the karma of robbing Judson is going to come back to bite you in the ass?
I feel like it did come back to bite me in the ass, considering I had 5 You Fucked Up awards and went 8-6, and had to claw through Austin, who had a great team, Mez, who had a great team, and now Tyler, who has a great team.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that team performs. Tyler, what do you think your turning point was that helped you make it this far?
Man, I don't know. Let me just reiterate that I am only here so I don't get fined. But I'll say when I think it'd be easy for me to say right now, oh, when I traded for Justin Jefferson, that's when I had the
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I think we look deeper into it. There was a stretch in the middle of the season where I was putting up like 130, 141 game, 120 a few weeks. And it was good. It was great. That's really good for our league. But when I put up 170 in like week 14 or 15, whatever it was a few weeks back, that's when it was like, okay, we're fucking rolling now. The team is doing it together. It's not just one guy. Obviously, like Josh Allen dropped 40 that week. Justin Jefferson just dropped 36. Brian Thomas just dropped 28. Like, there's strong performances from solo guys, but the team is doing it together. We're starting to put this shit together right at the right time. Hopefully, we can do it one more week.
Don't that scare you though?
Nope,
I mean, you've been doing so good. You've been doing like too good for so long. You haven't lost in like 10 weeks. That don't freak you out at all?
No.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, I believe it.
No, yeah, to have your quarterback drop 10 points and then your team still puts up 150, that's something to marvel. And, you can do nothing but respect it. And that's a good organization Tyler's got over there. He's running it right.
I 100% agree. And doing my scouting report, the whole year it was, hey, whenever Josh Allen fails, the dogs will fail. Kind of like Mez. Whenever Lamar fails, he'll fail. Clearly, that's not the case. So we had to go back to the drawing board for championship week. So I get it. But so many dominant weeks, so many great weeks. It's kind of like a story that we know. And it's ironic that Chris is in here for that. But it's like a story we know and we've seen already. Especially with Ty. I'm just saying. Myself included. The DeMar Hamlin year. So good. So much. When it came down to, I don't know.
Got another question. Not on here, but I think Tyler's got his lineup pretty set. He's rolling with his boys. But Jackson, you got a lot of decisions to make this week. A couple guys banged up. Couple guys, bad matchups. What are you thinking? Where's the headspace at for the starting lineup this week?
I'm glad you asked, Chris. Because, truthfully, I don't know yet. I will say, George Pickens, Tyler's guy, Jesse's guy, I guess. He's getting the start. I get it, bad matchup. But I got to trust him. I brought him in to be a difference maker. And I think time off, he's going to be the guy, actually, to really propel me this week. I mean, with James Conner injured, Kamara injured, CeeDee Lamb is injured. He might not even play, to be honest, especially against a tough matchup. I mean, I got to resort to a lot of guys, and that's George Pickens, and I'm putting 100% faith into him. I trust him, even in a tough matchup. And besides that, I mean, it's really just James Conner's knee. Do I trust that? And then Tony Pollard, does he play or not? If Tony Pollard plays, I'm playing him. Just plain and simple, I am. If James Conner plays, probably not playing him. Just being honest. I don't trust that. So, this is where the skill comes involved. I mean, like we said earlier in this show, this is 70% skill, 30% luck. Yes, I need to, bank on some luck, but it's skill to know who to play and to evaluate what guys to play. So, I'm pretty confident, though, in my decisions.
Yeah, he's over there second-guessing himself, Tyler. But I'll go ahead and get into question number 6. Tyler, if you win this ring, your first win in the 12-man playoff or 12-man grouping. How do you plan on celebrating this win?
I haven't planned at all. Job's not finished.
Job's not finished. I love
You
it.
gotta
Job's not
mention-
finished. Jackson, how do you plan on celebrating
That's
if you
funny.
potentially win?
Job's not finished. That's great. No, I get it. I'm the same way. Chris, I was talking to you about this the other day. I mean, whenever you win one, that's like a huge weight off your shoulders. And I think that's like
Mhm.
the benchmark for this league. Like you're not really in that conversation until you win one. And I did. Look, I'm wearing the ring on the whole show. But
Bring it in the ring to the interview.
it's when you win, it actually makes you hungrier. Tyler thinks he's hungry. I'm hungrier. I really am. Because once you get that taste, you can't sleep at night without that taste again. If I lose this week, that's going to be probably even worse than when I lost to Dom. Especially because it's Ty. Ty's one of my favorite people in the world. If I lose to him, though, I'll be sick. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
you
I
guys
don't know what
ready.
it's like to lose a ring game. You're gonna have to talk to me about that on Saturday.
Well, you also don't know what it's like to make the playoffs in 4 years. So, it's kind of even.
Yeah, but I know what it's like to be a back-to-back champion, which is what you're fighting for this week.
3-time chip game.
Hey, yeah. I mean, if you want credit for just going to the dance,
I think a lot of people would take a trip to
but yeah.
Tyler. I think Tyler's enjoying this trip.
No, yeah.
Job is not finished.
I don't know. I don't think he's enjoying it. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's gonna enjoy it until confetti rains. But yeah, let's get into these secret questions right here. This is gonna be Jackson's question for Tyler. Let's just dive right into it. Tyler hasn't been to the playoffs in several years, and he hasn't won a ring since we expanded to a 12-team league. How important is this game for Tyler's legacy in this league? And if he loses, would you consider him a manager who can't perform when the lights are their brightest? Jackson,
This is
take
a
it
tough
away.
question. This is a tough question. I mean, when you look at the statistics of Tyler's teams, right? He's up there in wins all time. He has playoff appearances. He has division titles, scoring title. But you're right. I mean, lack of playoff success since we've had this merger. And I mean, I count the championship appearance the year before we did the whole form in the record book. I think he's owed that just like you are for your back-to-back. But since then, he has not made the chip and he's not made any noise in the playoffs since. In my opinion, if he does lose this game, he's still a top manager in the league. I mean, he's had some of the best seasons we've ever seen.
No doubt.
See, he's had some of the best seasons we've ever seen. I mean, I think you could argue that he is the 07 Patriots, right? I mean, the year that he had a couple years ago, that still is prominent. And then the year, maybe this is the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl. I don't know. Patriots, Tyler, great fucking season. Dominant season. I'm injured, kind of rolling in on 2 feet, barely. And if he doesn't perform well, I think he's going to perform well, but it's going to take a lot. I don't know. This is going to be tough, but I don't think you can discredit Tyler's legacy in this league. I think he's up there. I think top 5 for sure.
So 0-2 in bowl games wouldn't hurt your opinion of his greatness if he potentially lost?
It does. I mean, it doesn't. Because I know Tyler. I know he's a great manager. And I know he'll be back and he'll get his eventually. Does it raise a couple eyebrows? Yeah, and it maybe makes him feel a little self-conscious. I don't know. Trust me, whenever you get that ring, whenever you get to that mountaintop, it's a huge weight off your shoulders because there's only been 3 of us. So maybe he feels a certain way, but I think when you look at everything else he's done, if you look at the record book, there's a lot of fucking Tyler Wright, the dogs in there. You gotta.
He's there.
You gotta bring that into account. But 0-2 in bowl games would be, I don't know. Maybe he would feel a little self-conscious. I don't know.
I think if he gets to 0-2 in bowl games, there's definitely some questions there. But Tyler, you have a chance to rebuttal if you'd like to about this.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I love it. I figured that'd be the answer. We'll go ahead and get into Tyler's question for Jackson. Jackson has been to 3 straight bowl games with a 1-1 record so far in said games. Would a back-to-back bowl win do for his legacy? Would he be considered the best manager in this league, or what would it do to his legacy if he lost, putting him at a 1-2 record? Take it away.
I don't know if I would consider him the best if he were to win. I do know this, that Jackson has clearly cemented his legacy into this league already, and he is going to be there and going to have to be beat no matter what. And he talks about the regular season game. And I don't think about that because I had a hunch that someone was going to have to beat him. I thought Mez might have been able to do it. He didn't. So here we are crossing paths again. Championship game. Let's see what happens. Line up and compete.
I like it. I like it. Who would you consider the best after this is said and done this week?
I don't know. It's pretty relative.
Give me your top 3.
All right. Well, I'll put Jackson in there. I'll put you in there, Chris, just because of your history. And then I'll put Colin in there just because of his consistency.
Wow.
You wouldn't consider yourself top 3, Tyler?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Would a win this week put you in the top 3 for you?
I don't know. You got to win.
Got to win.
Job's not finished.
Hey, I'm looking forward to welcoming you to the winner's table. Really hoping that Jackson doesn't go back-to-back. You're my only hope for that. Really rooting for you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
See, I like this year because I feel like I'm the underdog. I feel like the past 2 years,
definitely not the underdog.
I feel like I'm the underdog
straight. You are not the underdog.
I feel like my team's the underdog this year. I like it. I like it. Everyone's rooting against me. I like it.
I'd like to offer my prediction for this game.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I think Jackson's going to take a strong lead. I really do. And I think Tyler's going to come storm back, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. I think that's how it's going to go, pure and simple.
Tyler has had a...
I think it'll be close, though. I really do. I think it'll be within 10 points.
He's had a lot of Monday night success, and it's going to come down to Monday night. Jamison Williams against San Fran. I say this in the forum, which is already out by the time you guys see this, hopefully, in the league. I need a 20-point cushion. If I don't, it's going to get real sweaty. So, I don't know, Ty. I don't know. This is going to be I think this is going to be a good game, hopefully.
Good luck to your team.
Good luck to the Dogs. Full respect to you, but I hope you fucking lose. Hope your team forgets that there's a game this week.
I like it. I like the shit talk, Jackson.
I knew he was gonna be like this. I knew I could say whatever I want. I knew he was gonna be stone cold with it. I get it. I like that. That's the Tyler method.
Oh yeah, he don't care. Job's not finished. Respect it.
You don't care?
I definitely care. That's not the sentence. I definitely care.
What are you gonna do if George Pickens scores 3 touchdowns on you, and you beat the Chiefs?
I'm gonna celebrate with the Steeler family, and then I'm gonna hope Justin Jefferson does the same exact fucking thing.
Would you rather have a fantasy championship win this week or a Steelers win this week?
That's a great question.
That's a hell of an ultimatum, bro.
Because it's George Pickens. It might come down to either or.
I plead the fifth.
I know how you'd answer that, Tyler, and it's okay. You want the ring.
I plead the fifth.
You want the ring. We know it.
You're already in the playoffs. That's why, too. He's already in the playoffs solidified. I get it.
Jackson, what do you think is higher chance? George Pickens gets into a fight or he scores a touchdown?
He gets into a fight with Trent McDuffie. Nick Bolton comes over to kind of break it up, and then you have Van Jefferson take out Nick Bolton's knees, and then Jones comes over, puts George Pickens in a headlock, and then Russ RKO's Chris Jones, knocks him out for the rest of the season.
You don't think Darnell Washington's big ass gets involved?
I forgot about Darnell Washington. I forgot about he will be doing something. He'll probably just be laying on someone. He's a big boy.
I don't know. I think the Steelers come out struggling, and then George Pickens just gets pissed off that he hasn't been targeted 25 times and throws a haymaker to Trent McDuffie's skull. I think that happens around mid-second quarter.
Ty, with all due respect,
Awesome.
I'm going to be listening to the fuck out of Renegade just for that George Pickens energy. Because I need it.
Good song. It's fired up.
Yeah, you guys have anything to add? You'd like to add? Ask questions? Anything? I know Tyler's here, so he won't get fined. But Jackson, I think you got something on your mind you'd like to talk about.
I just think that regardless win or lose, I'm him. I mean, when you really break it down,
even with a loss?
Statistically speaking, I'm him. And there's three things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and the Guardians are going to be in the championship, baby. And we're going to be competing for that motherfucker.
I like the confidence, Jackson. I really do. But your only ring is versus Tony Armani. And let's be honest, that's not the best ball knower in this league. I mean, he had a great year that year, but you haven't really beat competition.
He had CMC that year.
He did. He did.
Ask Colin how he feels about CMC.
But to finally face some real competition, does that put any added pressure onto this bowl attempt? What do you think?
There's always been pressure. Every bowl game's a pressure game, but pressure is a privilege, and I am
but
100% ready.
There's a different amount of pressure going into a game versus Dom or Tony versus Tyler. You know what I mean? There's a different amount of pressure there. You have to.
No, because I lost to Dom, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, but that was a freak accident. A dude died.
He did, and I lost my chip for that. I don't know. What does Ty feel? Ty hasn't been to the chip in a while. Is this extra pressure? I mean, I don't know.
It's a championship game. Period.
What more do you need to say?
Fired up. Can't wait. Starts tomorrow.
12 o'clock, Ty. I'll be ready. I'll be watching.
I'll be hammered by 12:30.
I'll be hammered. I'll be hammered by 1. Chris?
I like it. I like the energy.
Chris, I appreciate you hosting. You
Anytime,
did a
Jackson.
fantastic job. I think we could really get something going with maybe a co-host thing, a podcast thing in the future, whatever it may be, but you did really well, so I appreciate you coming on and doing this for us. Hope to see
Appreciate
you in the
having
next
me.
year.
It's always a great time talking ball with you guys. I mean, 2 of the best ball knowers in this league. You love to hear what they think.
And I don't think that's crazy to say. I don't think that's crazy to say at all. Ty?
Thanks for having me.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Good luck, gentlemen.